Don't touch him." The words cut through the air as the young bully's hand froze midair. Nobody expected the quiet man to move that fast or with such deadly precision. The Memorial Plaza had been peaceful just moments before. Sun streamed down on the polished granite walls, inscribed with names of the fallen. Tourists wandered about, some taking photos, others sitting quietly on benches beneath the shade of oak trees. A gentle breeze carried the scent of freshly cut grass across the open space. Among the visitors sat Mike Wilson, an unassuming figure in a simple gray t-shirt and worn jeans. Nothing about his appearance suggested anything extraordinary. No military haircut, no obvious muscle bulk that couldn't belong to any regular gym goer. He sat cross-legged on a patch of grass away from the main path, eyes closed, breathing measured and controlled. To casual observers, he was just another visitor taking a moment of reflection. None would guess he was practicing the same meditation techniques that kept him alive through 3 combat tours. None would know that beneath his calm exterior lay the disciplined mind of a decorated Navy SEAL, a man trained to remain perfectly still for days while tracking targets. The elderly man arrived shortly after noon, moving with a deliberate pace of someone accustomed to working through pain. Harold Green, 73 years old, navigated the Memorial Plaza with a wooden cane gripped firmly in his left hand. His right leg dragged slightly with each step, a permanent reminder of shrapnel wounds sustained half a century ago in the jungles of Vietnam. Despite his physical limitations, Green maintained the straight posture of a lifelong military man. His weathered face carried deep lines earned through years of service and sacrifice. A Vietnam veteran pin gleamed on the lapel of his navy blue blazer, meticulously pressed despite its age. Atop his head sat a faded cap bearing the insignia of his old unit, the 173rd Airborne Brigade. As Green approached the memorial wall, Mike opened his eyes briefly, noticing the older man's arrival. A flash of respect crossed his face, the instinctive recognition one warrior gives another. Without interrupting his meditation, Mike returned to his breathing exercise, though his awareness remained sharp. Green stopped before a section of the wall, his callous fingers reaching out to trace a name etched in stone. His lips moved silently, perhaps in prayer or conversation with old comrades. He stood there quietly, lost in memories of men who never came home, of helicopter extractions under heavy fire, of brotherhood forged in the crucible of combat. For him, these weren't just names on a wall. They were friends, brothers in arms whose sacrifices deserved to be remembered. The tranquility shattered as 4 young men entered the plaza, their loud voices and laughter echoing inappropriately against the memorial walls. Leading them was Tyler Matthews, a tall 20-something with a backward baseball cap and an air of entitled confidence. His 3 friends followed close behind, sharing a bottle poorly concealed in a paper bag. "Dude, this place is dead, literally," Tyler shouted, earning snickers from his companions. "Let's liven it up." Several visitors glanced up with disapproving looks. A young mother quickly ushered her children away. Mike remained motionless, though his shoulders tensed almost imperceptibly. Green turned from the memorial wall, his weathered face etched with concern. "Excuse me, young man," he said, his voice firm but respectful. "This is a place of remembrance. Would you mind keeping your voices down?" Tyler looked Green up and down, his expression morphing from surprise to contempt. "Oh, look, guys, we got ourselves a real war hero." His voice dripped with sarcasm. "Sorry, Pops. Didn't realize this was your personal property." "It's not about ownership," Green replied calmly. "It's about respect for those who gave everything for their country." Tyler rolled his eyes dramatically. "Given everything for what? So rich politicians to get richer? Man, you old guys are so brainwashed. Government just used you as tools." Several onlookers shifted uncomfortably, but no one intervened. Green's jaw tightened, but his voice remained steady. "Young man, you're entitled to your opinions, but these men were my friends. They deserve your respect." "Respect?" Tyler laughed. "For signing up to kill people in other countries? That's what you call heroism." Green shook his head sadly. "You're fortunate to live in a country where you can speak so freely without understanding the cost of that freedom." "Whatever, old man," Tyler smirked, turning to his friends. Check it out. Another government puppet who thinks he's special because he wore a uniform. Probably just followed orders like a good little soldier, right? Tyler's mockery escalated as he began limping in an exaggerated fashion, dragging his right leg in cruel imitation of Green's war injury. His friends erupted in laughter. Look at me, I'm a big hero. Tyler mocked, hunching over an imaginary cane. Respect me, because I got shot 50 years ago in some jungle. Green's face flushed, the pain in his eyes visible to everyone watching. With quiet dignity, he turned away, preparing to leave rather than escalate the confrontation. As he pivoted, his military cap slipped from his head, landing on the ground between them. "I'll be on my way," Green said softly, reaching down awkwardly for his cap. Tyler was faster. He snatched the cap before Green could retrieve it, turning it over in his hands with exaggerated inspection. "Nice hat, Gramps. Vintage." Tyler grinned, placing on his own head at a jaunty angle. "How do I look, boys? Ready to go kill for America?" "Please return that," Green said, his voice now strained. "It's my only memento for my unit. Many of those men didn't come home." "Oh, it's special, is it?" Tyler tossed a cap to one of his friends. "Hey, Mark, catch." The cap flew through the air just beyond Green's reach. Mark caught it, laughing, then threw it to another friend as Green turned painfully. "Try to follow its path." "Give it back, please," Green said, his composure cracking. "That cap has been with me since 1968. Since 1960 whatever?" Tyler mocked. "Maybe it belongs in a museum like you." Green moved forward, his cane slipping on the smooth stone as he reached for his cap. His face showed not anger but deep hurt, the pain of seeing something precious treated with contempt. Mike rose in one fluid motion, crossing the distance between his meditation spot and the unfolding scene in seconds. His movement was effortless, economical, nothing wasted. He positioned himself beside Green, his presence suddenly filling the space. "The gentleman asked for his property back," Mike said, his voice calm but carrying an unmistakable undercurrent of authority. "I think it would be a good idea to return it." Tyler turned, sizing up this new arrival. Mike stood relaxed, hands open at his sides, nothing threatening in his posture, yet something in his steady gaze made Tyler hesitate. "Who the hell are you?" Tyler recovered, puffing his chest slightly. "His bodyguard?" "Just someone who respects what that cap represents," Mike replied evenly. "And who believes four young men shouldn't need to belittle a veteran to feel important?" Tyler's friend dangled the cap just out of reach. "What's it to you anyway? This is between us and Grandpa Limpy here." "That limp came from shrapnel while pulling 3 men to safety under enemy fire," Mike said, his voice still conversational. "The man earned 2 Purple Hearts and a Bronze Star. I'd say he's earned the right to visit this memorial in peace." Green looked at Mike with surprise. "How did you know about your unit insignia?" Mike nodded toward the cap. 173rd Airborne. "I know your reputation." "Look at this military bromance," Tyler sneered. 2 government puppets sticking together. "What are you going to do about it?" "Huh?" Mike simply extended his hand toward the friend, holding the cap. "The cap. Now, please." "Or what?" Tyler stepped forward, shoving Green's shoulder hard enough to unbalance the older man. What happened next occurred so quickly that onlookers would later debate exactly what they'd seen. As Green began to fall, Mike moved with explosive speed. One hand caught Green's arm, stabilizing him, while the other intercepted Tyler's still extended hand. In a single continuous motion, Mike secured Green's balance while simultaneously twisting Tyler's wrist into a joint lock that brought the young man to his knees. Tyler's face contorted in shock and pain. "What the?" "Stay still," Mike advised quietly. "This hold only hurts if you resist." Tyler's friends rushed forward to help. The first reached for Mike's shoulder, only to find himself suddenly airborne, then flat on his back, the wind knocked from his lungs. Mike had executed a perfect hip throw without releasing Tyler's wrist. The second friend swung a wild punch. Mike shifted slightly, causing the blow to miss by inches. With minimal movement, he delivered a precise palm strike to the attacker's solar plexus, dropping him instantly to his knees, gasping for breath. The third friend, seeing his companions neutralized in seconds, froze with the veteran's cap still in his hand. "The cap?" Mike repeated, his voice unchanged, as if he were asking for salted dinner. Hands trembling, the young man extended the cap. Mike nodded toward Green, indicating he should return it directly to its owner. The friend complied immediately, placing the cap gently in Green's weathered hands with mumbled apologies. Throughout the brief confrontation, Mike's breathing never accelerated. His movements displayed the fluid precision that comes from thousands of hours of training, efficient, controlled, and executed with absolute confidence. Not once did he use more force than necessary, yet his complete command of the situation was undeniable. 2 security officers arrived at a run, alerted by concerned visitors. The older officer approached warily, hand near his holster, until recognition dawned on his face. "Commander Wilson?" he asked, surprise evident in his voice. Mike nodded slightly, maintaining his hold on Tyler. "Situation under control, Officer Rivera. Just a misunderstanding about the proper way to treat veterans." The name registered immediately with several onlookers. Whispers spread to the gathering crowd. "Wilson? The SEAL commander? From the hostage rescue?" Officer Rivera turned to his younger partner. "This is Commander Michael Wilson, former SEAL Team 6. Led the Al-Basra hospital rescue. 26 hostages saved, including 3 children." Green stared at Mike, his eyes widening as he processed this information. "Wilson, any relation to Lieutenant James Wilson, 3rd Marines?" Mike's composed expression softened slightly. "My father." "Your father?" Green's voice caught. "I served with Jim in 68. He was my platoon leader at Key Sand." "I know, sir," Mike replied quietly. "You're Harold Green. You carried him a mile and a half to the extraction point after he was hit. He told me that story my whole life. Said he owed you everything." The plaza fell completely silent. Tyler, still kneeling in Mike's controlled grip, looked between the 2 men as understanding dawned on his face. "Jim made it home because of you, sir," Mike continued, "which means I exist because of you. My family has been waiting for a chance to thank you in person." Green's weathered face registered shock, then deep emotion. "Jim survived? I never knew. After medevac, we got split up. I looked for his name on the list, but communications were so chaotic then. He lived a full life, sir. Raised 3 sons. Told us to always respect the price paid by those who served. He passed 5 years ago, but he never forgot what you did." Mike released Tyler's wrist, helping him to his feet with the same careful precision he'd used to subdue him. "You okay?" Tyler rubbed his wrist, nodding wordlessly. All bravado evaporated. His friends gathered around him, equally subdued. "I'm not interested in pressing charges," Mike said to the security officers. "I think there's a better way to handle this." He turned to Tyler and his friends. "You 4 obviously have strong opinions about military service. How much do you actually know about what it means?" Tyler looked at the ground. "Not much, I guess." "The Vietnam Veterans Center is 3 blocks from here," Mike said. "I volunteer there on weekends. Why don't you come by tomorrow? You can hear some first-hand accounts, then decide what you think." Green carefully placed his cap back on his head, adjusting it with practiced hands. "I'd be willing to share my story, if you're interested in listening." "Why would you do that?" Tyler asked, genuine confusion in his voice. "After how he treated you?" Green exchanged a glance with Mike before answering. "Because understanding is better than anger. And because maybe you'll think twice before judging someone else based on a uniform or a limp." The following Saturday, to everyone's surprise, Tyler and 2 of his friends appeared at the Veterans Center. Awkward and uncomfortable at first, they listened as Green recounted his experiences. Not tales of glory, but honest stories of fear, friendship, and the complex reality of war. The encounter between Mike, Green, and the young men spread quickly through social media. A visitor's cell phone video captured the moment Mike revealed his connection to Green, generating millions of views and thousands of comments about military service, respect, and intergenerational understanding. 3 weeks later, local news covered Tyler's volunteer work at the Veterans Center, where he had become a regular, helping elderly veterans with technology and social media. "I never understood what these guys went through," he told a reporter. "I never thought about the person behind the uniform." For Mike, the most meaningful outcome came in the form of a new friendship with Green. The older veteran became a regular visitor to Mike's home, developing a grandfather-like relationship with Mike's children, sharing stories of their namesake, the father Mike had loved and the young Lieutenant Green had saved in a distant jungle half a century ago. What does true strength look like to you? Is it physical prowess, or the moral courage to stand for others? Perhaps it's the quiet dignity of veterans like Harold Green, or the disciplined restraint shown by Mike Wilson. Our society often misunderstands a military experience, seeing only stereotypes rather than the complex individuals who serve. How might we bridge this gap of understanding between generations and between military and civilian communities? Have you witnessed someone standing up for what's right when it would have been easier to look away? Or perhaps you've had your own views challenged and changed through an unexpected encounter. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story moved you, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing for more stories that explore courage, honor, and the unexpected connections that remind us of our shared humanity. Until next time, remember that the strongest people aren't always those who win fights, but those who stand for others when it matters most.